Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I really appreciate your time. We have a very, very important topic to discuss tonight, and it's about the new Walmart that they're thinking about building in our township. So really just wanted to start off today's meeting with a show of hands. I had a couple of questions for you. So who here has ever woken up in the morning really excited to go to their favorite convenience store, clothing store, just a small shop in our area? You drive up there and you see the close sign or you see the for rent sign. Show of hands. Has that ever happened to anyone? Yeah, so pretty much everybody. How about when you get your paycheck and you think you're going to get a whole bunch of money and then you look at how much you get after taxes? Who's complained about how much taxes gets taken out of their paycheck? Again, pretty much everybody. And last question here. So who would say they live within 20 miles of a Walmart? Yep, so congratulations guys, we are part of the 96%. So 96% of Americans live within 20 miles of a Walmart. That's a crazy statistic and it's very, very true. We probably live within 20 miles of multiple Walmarts. So Walmart really has a chokehold on the American economy. They treat their employees poorly. They pressure manufacturers and suppliers to get low prices. So I really wanted to discuss today a couple of things. The problem with Walmart. We're going to talk about why you should care about us having that Walmart in our town. We're going to talk about what you can do to help, and then we'll leave with a call to action today. So the problem is really just starts with their treatment of their employees. For example, they practice extreme sexism. About 57% of Walmart employees are female, and you're going to find most of them in the low-level associate positions. And a lot of the times, females are actually overlooked for promotions and for raises. So this actually started a lawsuit. Betty Dukes was a Walmart associate. She was there for a very long time. She was a loyal employee. And what happened was she was overlooked for promotions and raises a few times when her male counterparts would get the promotion and the raise. So she actually started a class action lawsuit where 1.5 million women who worked for Walmart or had at some point worked for Walmart filed a class action with the Supreme Court. So the class action lawsuit was so huge that the Supreme Court actually overturned it. They said that 1.5 million women could not be a class. So what happened was now they're breaking up into smaller classes and filing by state. So obviously we see the passion behind the subject from the picture here. It says, stop discounting the women of Walmart, women demand fair pay, Walmart always discriminating instead of Walmart always low prices. So clearly there's a very huge issue here. And my question is, do we want our wives, our daughters, our nieces, our aunts really dealing with this if a Walmart comes to our town and they get a job there? The other problem is that they have a huge market share. So they pretty much control their suppliers. Even corporations like Kraft and Procter & Gamble, if Walmart says jump, they have to say how high because they are such huge clients of these corporations that if they take the business out of the company, these companies could just completely fall apart. So this really causes these companies to skim on their products. For example, we have Colgate. Between 2007 and 2011, they actually had to cut 36% of the formulas of the products that they use. And they had to reduce their fragrances by 26%. So if you've ever noticed your Colgate toothpaste tasting and smelling less minty, that is most likely why. It's an influence of Walmart. And they even actually plan to trim even more to make Walmart happy. Same thing, something happened with Vlasic pickles. They had Vlasic try to sell jars of pickles that were very large for only $3 so that they could demand low prices. But that affects the margin of these companies so intensely that it's just a very, very dangerous and vicious cycle. So you probably think, well, if I have Walmart down the street, I can save a lot of money, I can get good prices, and it's right there, so it's so convenient. So you're probably saying, well, why should I care? Why shouldn't Walmart be here? So I really wanted to talk to you guys today as well about a few of the stunning facts that do affect us as a nation and us as a township. So about 85% of the goods that are sold in Walmarts are actually manufactured in China. So the damage that this does to the American economy can't even be calculated with the amount of lost jobs and work hours that are taken from American employees. The Economic Policy Institute actually said that trading between China and Walmart resulted in the loss of 133,000 manufacturing jobs just in the few years between 2001 and 2006, and that number continues to rise. So really, we've also got those horribly low wages. It's almost impossible to find an employee inside of a Walmart who's not a top manager of the store who's making decently above minimum wage. And we know that the price of goods now, the price of everything now, that just doesn't cut it. So we've got tens of thousands of employees that are enrolled in Medicaid and depend on the government for health care. And that's why I brought up taxes earlier. When we complain about the taxes getting taken out of our paycheck, we're supporting some of the people who are employed by Walmart, and they work very, very hard, but they just don't make enough money to support themselves and pay for their health care because of Walmart's low wages. And it's also very, very harmful to small businesses. So just within a couple of years, between 1992 and 2007, we saw a decline in independent retailers in the US by 60,000. So small businesses are being driven out because the suppliers, they don't want their business anymore. They want to work with Walmart because that's such a huge client of theirs. And they just can't afford to compete with Walmart. They can't have prices so low, it drives their margins down way too low. They can't pay their rent, they're out of business. So I know that in our community, we have a lot of beautiful small businesses. We've got family-owned businesses, and I really want to make sure that we're protecting them. So the next really question is, what can I do to help? Because we just talked about all of these things that we really need to look at before we accept them building a Walmart in our township. So we really want to make sure that we're supporting the American economy. It's really open to open, honest competition. And what Walmart does is they come in, they crush the competition, and they get us to, they roll back the prices, all everyday low prices. They get us to say, well, you know what, there's a Walmart down the street where I'm going to save a couple of bucks on this tube of toothpaste, or this t-shirt is $20 at the family-owned store and it's only $17 at Walmart, so we're going to go to Walmart. And that really hurts our local economy. So we really want to make sure that we're stopping the harm to small businesses. We've got to support businesses. So when you leave today, stop by the farm instead of the Walmart that's probably on your way home from work. They've got a grocery store there. Just when you see it, just pass by. It costs another 50 cents. Well, you're supporting a family. You're supporting a small business from a family that's in our local area. So I wanted to leave you guys with a quote today from one of America's most famous and successful businessmen. A business that makes nothing but money is a poor business. And that was said by Henry Ford. So I really just want you guys to leave this meeting today. Go ahead and support a small business. If you see a family-owned restaurant, you see a family-owned grocery store, go ahead and buy something from there. Even if it does cost you an extra $1 or $2, you're supporting a family that lives in our area instead of a company that suppresses its employees and pressures manufacturers to give us those low prices. Does anyone have any questions?